It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Good morning. This is City Beat here on 102.9 CHTM. I'm Monika, and joining me today is Mayor Dennis Fenske. Welcome to the studio.
Good morning.
If you have a question for the mayor, call us at 677-8181 or email atchtm@arcticradio.ca. To start, what's been going around the city?
Just a safety share to start the radio show off, in that we still have the street sweepers and water trucks out on the streets. In fact, they're on Thompson Drive this morning and this afternoon, so be aware of the larger vehicles. There is an abundance of gravel that's been swept off the lawns and the grass area, boulevards, onto the streets, so drive to the conditions of the road and give the sweepers and the water truck plenty of room to maneuver, so just be cautious.
Okay. In the council meeting on Monday, there was a letter from Minister of Health, Sharon Blady, and it says that the NRHA is proposing a new flat rate structure for EMS. Can you talk about what a change like that would mean?
Basically, it's a change in the fee schedule from a variable rate. We had a number of rates in, and to be more efficient, just going to a flat rate from the province. The province has been working with our emergency services group to bring that online. So that's the movement that we're going to be, and it's just a more efficient way of billing for the services that are provided.
Okay, so that would be something that residents would pay if they ever need an ambulance?
That's correct.
Okay. And now the letter also mentions that the NRHA and Cancer Care Manitoba has received approval to renovate and expand the cancer care chemotherapy unit at the Thompson General Hospital. Can you talk about what sort of improvements to healthcare in Thompson we can expect with this?
That's a great announcement. It's long overdue. We have a number of patients in our community that have for years had to travel south for treatments, or had to deal with the facilities in Thompson in dealing with their treatments. And I mean, cancer is bad enough as it is, but we want to make sure that the patients that are comfortable as they can be and are dealt with appropriately for that. So it's a great announcement for the city of Thompson. Again, it speaks to the regionalization of the north, of the city of Thompson being the health center of the north, and that this expansion, which will include larger space, more front desk area and beds, that it'll be more efficient for those that are in need of care, as well as again establishing us as a regional center for healthcare.
Right, and with the approval having just happened or announced recently, I guess it's in the early stages, but when can we start seeing progress towards this development happening?
I'm assuming it's going to happen in this fiscal year because it was announced, so we'll have to follow up with Northern Regional Health Authority to find out when the actual tender is awarded and what the construction schedule is as well.
Okay. Quick reminder to listeners, if you have a question for Mayor Dennis Fenske, give us a call at 677-8181 or email CHTM@arcticradio.ca. Now, the City of Thompson was approved for a $6,400 Community Places grant from the provincial government. What will this money be used for?
This is the
Community Places grant?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is through the recreation branch of the province, and through our departments, we've applied for specific grants for programs and operations through the recreational department, and so it's an annual grant that we apply for. So that's how we'll be using it.
Okay, so it's nothing specific, just for different things in the city? Okay.
Yep.
Now, the city was also in talks with the province about having the annual income assistance contribution waived. It's something that we've talked about. But in the recent council meeting, you said that council plans to issue a check to pay the outstanding money owing. Can you tell us why the city decided to not pursue the issue further?
Well, this goes back quite some time with province of Manitoba, and previously there was a two-tiered system for income assistance, one that the city operated and one the province operated. Through legislation, the province had made it a one-tier system and took over the operation of that. At the time of the dual operation, our numbers were decreasing, our costs were decreasing, And when the legislation was brought in, the cost at that time was $161,000 per year for the city of Thompson. And so they drew a line in the sand and said that will be your cost moving forward. And so that's the bill that we've had for the last 3 years. And we've been disputing it in the fact that we were trending down, and we didn't have any information from the province saying that any improvements had made or that the trend had continued to reduce our costs, because we're paying $161,000 where other communities of like size to us in the province are paying $20,000 to $30,000 in costs. So we objected to that when it was proposed by the province. We objected to it and didn't support the AMM resolution that went forward with that. And so through lots of discussions with the province, we finally got an explanation as to what the current costs are, what the trends are, and that. And we're not satisfied with the fact that we have to continue to pay $161,000, but that's the legislation, so we will pay our bills. We've had the money basically in the city accounts waiting for discussions to be concluded with the province. They're now concluded, and we'll pay our bill, but we'll move on with the province, working with them in ways that we can reduce that annual cost to the city of Thompson ratepayers.
Okay. Now, throughout the winter months, the school district of Mystery Lake and the city of Thompson had partnered to provide free public transportation for students, and numbers were recently released. In February, for example, a free bus ride was taken advantage of 5,493 times by the students here in Thompson. What are your thoughts on the numbers? Well,
they're impressive in the sense of I'd like to thank the school district for the initiative and also for the city of Thompson for partnering. It was an initiative to get the kids to school and home during the cold weather. There is an issue in regards to attendance, and this past winter specifically, giving the drastic numbers that we've had, not as much this year, but the previous year, this is a way to ensure that we get kids to school and they can take advantage of the education system to complete their studies. So the fact that it was well used says that there are people in need out there for transportation. That either didn't have the means or the finances to do that, and in some cases it cost them a day or some time at school. So this is a program that we support, and we thank the school district for initiating it, and we look forward to working with them again the upcoming school year.
Sounds great. Now the long weekend is approaching. Any reminders to listeners?
Just be safe. Again, the weather is here. It looks like summer has finally arrived. Hopefully, we don't have any snow in the forecast. And so again, people will be wanting to get outside and doing yard work and things like that, as well as maybe taking a trip out to Paint Lake. I understand the Paint Lake Marina is having a grand opening this weekend. So just all in all, just be safe in your activities and make sure you reduce the risk of potential to its lowest factor.
Okay, and before we wrap up, anything else you'd like to mention?
Just a quick note. I know it's been on the radio already this morning, but we do have a water break at 1:30 Brandon Crescent. There'll be a water disruption for the residents on Brandon, and for the safety of city and crews and public, Brandon will be closed while repairs are performed. Hopefully that'll be completed today, so just be aware of that area.
Great. Well, that's this edition of City Beat. Join us next Thursday around 11:30 for more on what's happening around the City Hall. For 102.9 CHTM, I'm Monika Gould.